this year. Your team's been playing really well. I thought the second half against Yorkville Christian, you played really, really well. You're going to have to do that again tonight here for probably both halves.
Yeah, definitely. We're gonna have to play strong and physical. We're gonna have to shoot the ball well. We're gonna have to take care of the ball and get good shots, and we're gonna have to guard well. It's gonna be a good challenge for us tonight.
Coach, kind of two personnel things we talked about here in the kind of the pregame, but you got, Petty's back for Morton, Geyer's out for us. How does that change this game?
We lose a lot of muscle, that's for sure. Gavin had 15 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, and 3 charges last game. Like maybe one of the best individual games we've had all year. So we got to have some guys step up, take some charges, get some rebounds, make some plays, and defend like he did. It's next man up. No excuses. Next guy's up. Got to, Zach stepped his game up the last 2 weeks with Gavin out. He's got to do more of that tonight.
Yeah, and how about the Petty kid? How does the Petty kid change things for Morton? And kind of how do you got to guard these guys?
Just gives him another big body, long, athletic kid, a guy that a capable three-point shooter, so kind of stretches the floor a little bit more, and can block shots at the rim. So he gives a little bit on both ends of the floor for sure.
Okay.
Coach, we'll let you get going here. Good luck. Bring home a W.
Thanks, guys.
Good luck, Coach.
We'll be back in just a few minutes with keys to tonight's game. Welcome back to Metamora. Guys, we're joined by our third member, Eli Young, the booth tonight.
Yeah, we've already seen one Metamora team take down a state-ranked Morton team in the past week, so let's see if we can get part 2 tonight.
Yeah. What's Morton come in, ranked 8th? Or?
I thought they were 5 and we were 10. What I saw. Okay, I don't know if that's
okay. Yeah, that would be a big feather in our hat, and that you're playing for some seeding right now for your regional.
Oh, big time. Big time. You're right. Morton comes in here really, the top-ranked team in the whole area. You got East Peoria, you got Peoria Central. They've taken down all the big hitters in the area. So, we're really the only team in the area to have a win against these guys. So, you're right.
Well, no, they lost to Central.
Did they really? Okay.
Yeah,
you know what? Why was I thinking they beat Central?
We're the only team, with the exception of East Peoria, we're the only team that round that's beaten all the ranked teams except for East Peoria.
Okay, all right, that's news to me. But you start looking at that, you're right, Scott. In that seeding situation, which one of the seeds come out here?
In about another maybe week or 2.
Okay, so yeah, this time, right now, how these teams are playing is huge.
Yeah, that's big, that's key. And you wonder just how they'll have 2 guys back from when we played them the first time. Along with Petty, they also have Jack Wilderman. Jack Wilderman. He's a transfer from Peoria Notre Dame.
Okay, and another senior. So this team, they'll start 5 seniors, which, anytime you got 5 seniors out there, that's tough. There's not a lot of schools in the area that have that,
No, not this year. This year it seems to be dominated by sophomores. Peoria Central starts 1 senior and 4 sophomores. Metamora starts 2 sophomores and 3 juniors. It's dominated by underclassmen for sure.
Yeah, and that really plays to their coach. The way their coach, Coach Zeller, he's such a possession kind of guy, discipline. This team does all the little things right. They set screens, they handle the ball. They shoot to 3. They just do all those little things. So, when you play against a team like this, you've got to do all those little things well. Otherwise, they're going to expose you that way.
Yeah, we did all those little things well the first time. It still took 3 overtimes, so hoping it doesn't take 3 overtimes tonight. But you guys that are playing for regional seeding, you're also kind of playing for pride tonight if you're Metamora. Your big win streak got snapped at home. You're back at home. Conference opponent, you're kind of looking to back up. Your Redbird round ball showing, pretty good showing. Beat Yorkville Christian. So you're kind of trying to back that up tonight as well.
Yeah, for sure. I look for Metamora. I look for Sam Koch and Briggs Busey to have big games. And Brady Jones is going to have to be a guy that kind of facilitates. Get the ball down low, kick it out, and then those guys are going to have to hit those jump shots from outside. I also look for Zach Bourne to have a big. A lot of people call him he's a garbage collector. He gets a lot of garbage baskets, and it doesn't sound good. But, boy, if you got a guy that can get 10, 15 points a night in garbage buckets, boy, you're going to win a lot of basketball games.
Well, yeah, you're absolutely right. Zach Bourne can get into double digits, The thing about that is he does not demand possessions from the offense.
No.
So like you said, I mean, he's going to get rebound putbacks. He's going to get steals. You know, he's going to get, he's going to run down the floor. He's going to get an open transition bucket. You know, things like that. Things that really add. You know, you start looking at guys plus minuses when they're on the floor. Zach Bourne, I got to believe, you know, we don't have those statistics available, but his plus minus has to be outstanding.
Oh.
All the little things that he does for the Redbirds out there. So you're absolutely right. You know, Zach Bourne's huge. I think free throw shooting is going to be a big piece of this. You know, we've got to shoot free throws well tonight. You know, we've had games where we've struggled a little bit from the line, but tonight, the way that this Morton team is going to come out and be physical with us, we're going to have to hit our free throws for sure.
All right, take some time now for the school song. So as Metamora comes onto the floor here, we're also going to have to take control of the board. Zach Bourne, Brady Jones, our guards rebound as well as any guards in the conference. We're going to have to control the rebounds tonight.
Yeah, you know, and you look, you know, Petty's back in the lineup for them at 6'6". You know, Burns was tough, 6'3". They got Silas Steven at 6'4". So this team has some nice size, top to bottom. You know,
Krupa comes in. I'm not sure if he's starting these days, but you know, he's a 6'7" kid.
You're right. Yeah, he's coming off the bench for sure. So yeah, I mean, this team has size, top to bottom, and you know, those are all seniors. I mean, all the guys we're talking about right now are seniors. They've got, you know, a couple underclassmen that come in and contribute. Well, I'm sorry, Petty is a junior.
Yeah.
But you're right. You know, McKee's another guy. You know, that first time we played him here, you know, I mean, he had a nice night. But boy, last year when we played him at Wesleyan, I mean, I don't know, what do you have, 25 points or something in that game? And
I think he had 20 at halftime.
Yeah, I mean, he was just unconscious from three. So he's the guy you can't help off on him. I mean, guys got to respect that three-point shot from him. So that you know, put some challenges on your defense here a little bit when you play against a team like this.
Well, again, tonight we'll be without Gavin Geyer. He just can't catch a break. Got another, hopefully not a serious concussion. I guess they're all serious, but and so he'll be out. Hopefully he'll be back this weekend. We got a tough weekend coming up, too. We got Springfield High coming in on Saturday night. I'm not sure, who do we play on Friday? Canton.
So let's team that beat us, so we need to get our get back.
That is a yeah. We better be fired up for that game for sure. You know, they probably played their game of the year against us. You know, so they're going to come in here, you know, pretty confident after what happened down in Canton at Ingersoll.
Sure.
Yeah, East Peoria travels there tonight, I know. So we'll see how that one goes.
They got that Ingersoll. That's a neat little facility in there. It gives them some home court advantage, and it's a tough place to play. You know, long bus ride on a cold night like this, tough to get warmed up. You know.
Yep, we're about a minute and a half away from the start of this game. The starting lineups to the national anthem.
I think Morton comes in here at 16-4. The Redbirds come in here at 16-6. So, but you know, again, the conference record is really kind of what we're after here. So. So Scott, if you had to rank the top teams in our sectional, who would you say? How does it go? What are the top 4 or 5 teams?
Well, I'd say the top 2 are probably Morton and Central. I think Metamora on any given night can beat any of those, and we have.
Yeah.
I think East Peoria is probably the cream of the crop, though.
Yeah.
They're just awfully good.
Yeah.
And
so tough. And Richwoods, I think, is 4A this year.
they're up.
So, you know, they're having a heck of a year. But, again, at 4A, you know, thankfully we don't have to worry about them. That's just one less worry that we have in the postseason, you know.
Take some time now for the national anthem and then the starting lineups.
Good evening, basketball fans. On behalf of the Metamora Administration and the Board of Education, we welcome you to tonight's game between the visiting Morton Potters and your Metamora Redbirds. At this time, we invite you to please stand, face our flag, for the singing of our national anthem, brought to you this evening by the MTHS Choir. Let's hear it from the MTHS Choir. Folks, this upcoming event is conducted under the regulations of the Illinois High School Association and the Middle-Illini Conference. We encourage you to demonstrate good sportsmanship throughout this contest, no matter your personal feeling of loyalty may be. Thank you for your cooperation. At this time, let's meet the starters for Morton, who enter tonight's Middle-Illini Conference contest. With a conference record of 7 wins and an overall record of 16-4. A 16 seed, number 1, Drew Zeller. A 6'1 seed, number 5, Alex McKee. A 6'1 seed, number 11, Owen Adams. A 6'4 senior, number 13, Silas Stephan. And senior number 25, Colin Burns. The Potters are coached by Abe Zimmer. At this time, folks, it is a great pleasure to introduce you first from NYSA, 3rd grade Redbirds. Ryan Burnett, Alvin Pena, Easton Mahaffey,
So, you guys, I'd have to say it's pretty even when it comes to height. We're just about exactly the same.
Yeah, you're right. You know, Busey's 6'3",
6'2".
6'2", okay. So, yeah, we're pretty close, absolutely. You know, there's really not a back-to-the-basket kind of guy out here. You know,
No.
that's the thing. I mean, these guys are all guards, really.
And really, maybe Morton will get the tip.
McKee brings it up against Vasquez, gets it over to Zeller, guarded by Koch.
Bourne's kind of a back-to-the-basket guy, but
Steffen drives in. Jones with the rebound. Vasquez now guarded by McKee. It's it to Jones, now to Bourne. To Koch. To Busey. Busey gets in the lane. And ball just goes off the edge of his foot, out of bounds.
boy, he had a pass to the lane or to the basket too.
Yeah, I think he looked up and just, I mean, he was ready to finish there, so. Early game jitters here, Scott.
For sure. Oh, great job by Bourne. That's still a good job by Bourne.
Colin Burns scoops it in for two. Koch guarded by Steffen. Makes his way to the block. Kicks it out to Vasquez. Back to Koch for three. Just rims out. Ball's loose. Busey controls it. It's double team. Kicks it over to Vasquez.
Well, I take one more dribble and he might have been able to go right to the basket.
Busey gets downhill and gets pushed, and that'll be on the floor. Redbird's ball out of bounds, and that goes against Burns. That'll be his first.
That was another nice drive to the basket.
Yeah, Busey's really looking to get to the rim here tonight. I like that when he's that aggressive. Ball goes into Jones. Up to Vasquez, guarded by McKee.
Oh.
And just out of bounds to Bourne. And might have been a little too hot to handle there. Steffen gives the charge, and that is Busey who slides over on the help and takes the charge for the Redbirds. Excellent defense by Metamora.
Good job by Bourne to come back and give some help.
Breaks the pressure on that man press. Bourne now in the short corner. Hands it off to Vasquez. Down to Jones between two.
He's out of bounds.
And Zeller's foot was out of bounds, so Metamora will inbound underneath their own hoop. This Morton team just flies to the ball, Scott. You know?
They do.
You really got a ball fake against these guys and kind of look at secondary options. Bourne's got it. Top of the key to Vasquez. Thought about the three. It's able back to Bourne for three. Off the rim. Koch with the rebound over to Busey. Busey now for three. Off the heel. McKee with the rebound for Morton.
Two pretty good looks, though.
Yeah. Zeller now gets in the lane. Little flip shot goes. Bourne's got it. To Busey, sets the screen for him. Busey now gets downhill into the paint. Layup just won't go for him.
Well, that was there, too.
Good look. Burns now gets down the floor. Layup doesn't go. Vasquez with the rebound. Got it in the middle of the four ball. Gets knocked away. Gets picked up by Bourne. Out to Jones. Drives baseline. Back to Bourne. Vasquez for three.
Oh, man.
Long. Burns with the rebound. And that Zeller gets down the floor. Makes the reverse layup. Redbirds need a bucket.
For sure.
Busey gets the handoff from Bourne. Now Koch thought about the three. Gets in the paint, spins, and he'll get fouled on the floor. Be Redbirds to inbound. And that goes against Burns. That'll be his second early on here.
That'll bring in Petty. Brendan Petty, a 6'6" junior.
Take a little time out here for the referee to secure his shoelaces here. We don't want to see him take a spill or get hurt out there, you know. Safety issue there, Scott.
Oh, for sure.
Ball goes into Busey. Over to Koch for three. Off the front.
Wow.
Redbirds just come out cold here. That Zeller gets in the lane. Another little flip shot. Petty with the rebound. McKee now in the corner. Drives and he'll pick up the foul. He'll go to the line to shoot two. That'll go against Vasquez. His first.
Brady, we need to get a bucket.
Yeah, this Morton team is just very physical. The man-to-man defense is right there on you. And, you know, they do a great job on the ball, and then they respond and help. And so, you know, we've got a ball fake. We've got to set great screens and really read what the defense is doing. And, you know, they've run us off the three-point line already about 4 times to where we just can't get set up for a shot. Ball goes into Vasquez. Again, against McKee here, full court man for Morton. Bourne's got it at the elbow. Gets it to Busey. Down to Jones.
There we go.
Jones for the layup. Nice job. Nice high percentage look there for Brady Jones. Also, there's Knuppel is in for Morton here.
Charge.
McKee drives down the lane, gives the charge, and that's Sam Koch down with defensive position. Draws the charge. A nice job by the Redbirds here early. When they're sensing a Morton player driving from all the way out to the three-point line, they're getting in position. Busey is going to draw the foul. That's going to go against Westbrook.
Out of bounds.
I'm sorry, that's against Adams.
You should be shooting here, though. It's the 5th one on them.
That's the 5th one. It is 5th.
Yeah, that should get Busey to the line here for 2.
Good call. That didn't go in, did it?
Did not.
Got the second one.
And number 3, that's Jack Wilderman. And he gets down the lane. Layup doesn't go. Jones at the rebound. Redbird's on the run. Gets the ball up to Bourne.
Good.
Layup's good. Love to see, and there's Busey almost with the steal, but you love to see Zach Bourne running the floor like that. And Adams now, a little miscommunication with McKee. Throws the ball out of bounds. That'll be Redbirds to inbound. A couple subs here for Morton. You got Tommy Krupa and Jude Zeller back in the lineup. They replaced McKee and Wilderman. Steffen knocks down the cross pass and gets the layup off the steal. Jones for three. Off the front, Busey skies for it and tips it in. Excellent rebound tip by Busey.
Colin Morrison up off the Redbird bench.
Zeller gets in the lane. Little scoop shot rebounded by Jones.
He's dominating the boards right now.
Jones sets the screen for Vasquez. Gets it out to Busey. Into Jones. Gets it out to Vasquez. Just not a clean pass. Was kind of hoping to get the inside out three there. Bourne gets the layup. Doesn't go, but Jones with the foul, it doesn't go. We're just rushing things a little bit here, Scott. Busey with the rebound off the Petty miss. Koch now drives baseline, and he'll pick up a foul here.
And that'll send Sam Koch to the line.
That goes against Petty. And that'll be the first on Petty. So Morton here, you know, that aggressive defense is just, it is costing them just a little bit here, getting us to the line. We just got to convert here.
Colin Morrison comes in for, is that Vasquez?
Yeah. Koch misses the second. Morrison pick up the assignment to guard McKee. He's a guy you can't help on, and McKee's running through multiple screens. And rebound by Tommy Krupa and put back. Busey gets it to Bourne, who lays it in with the left hand against the bigger defender. Nice job by Bourne.
Oh, nice job.
Busey will grab Zeller out front here with 7.5 just to slow him down, as the Redbirds have a couple fouls to give here.
And then Ashton Taylor comes in. He'll replace
Busey.
I think Taylor's going to take another foul here.
Oh, yeah. But he probably took it too late. Did he take it too late?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's going to go against Taylor, and now Zeller is going to get to the line here to shoot two.
This one's up and good.
Now Wilderman comes in. He replaces Steffen for Morton.
He gets them both.
Morrison now from half court.
Oh.
So that'll bring us to the end of the first. Redbirds down by 4, 14-10 here at Tepke.
Welcome back to Metamora as we get ready to start the second quarter. It'll be Redbird ball coming out of the quarter break. Metamora comes out the way we finished the first. Vasquez, Morrison, Jones, Koch, and Bourne. And
For Morton, you got Zeller, you got
Petty.
Adams out there. You got Petty. That's Stephan.
Yeah.
And McKee.
Yes.
Ball goes out of bounds. Morton to inbound. Zeller brings it up, guarded by Koch. Petty gets it, turning the corner, and finishes.
Bird's got to get a bucket here.
More now. Thought about the back door, but it was covered up. Zeller now is on the run, misses a layup.
Oh, that's
with the rebound.
That's a great job by.
And
come on.
Advances it to Jones and just a little bit of sloppy passing there. Ball goes out of bounds. Morton to inbound.
We've had the ball 3 times this quarter, Randy. We have 3 turnovers.
Yeah, we don't have a shot yet. So, yeah, Redbirds just need to settle down a little bit and start playing Redbird basketball, doing what we do. McKee off the double screen up top. Petty now guarded by Bourne. Spins in the lane. High off the glass, doesn't go. Silas Stephan with the rebound putback for Morton. And I don't know where the Redbirds were. We only had 1 guy in there rebounding, Scott. They had 3. So our guards have got to flow back to the boards and help out. You know, this Morton team is going to crash hard. Get past to Koch, drives baseline, and that's out of bounds. It'll be Morton to inbound. Redbirds need to tighten it up. The little things just aren't going our way, Scott.
Right. Yep.
Petty in the high post gets it out to McKee. Stephan now spins in the lane, gets the layup to go.
Yeah, Metamora will take a timeout. We're just getting beat to the basket right now, Randy.
Yeah, and you know, down 10 here, and it's just our own doing. I mean, how many shots have we taken? 1 shot in the quarter so far. A couple minutes in, and we've had 4 turnovers. I mean, you just got to get shots on the rim here at some point, and then defensively, we've got to keep them in front of us. Those little spin moves are tough, but the second chance buckets are inexcusable. We've got to get in there, block a guy off, and everybody's got to flow back to the bucket. And, Morton's had numbers on the offensive glass on us, and that's not something that should ever really happen. We should have guys in there moving guys out and blocking off on the defensive end. We've got to get more physical here.
For sure.
Morton still in the full court man defense here. Bourne gets in the paint, gets it out to Koch for 3. Nice. And, just come out of that timeout, Scott, our spacing looks so much better on that possession. We spread out the floor. When you got a team like this, Morton, that plays a really tough man-to-man defense, you've got to space them out and give guys room to operate, And now Bourne is going to get called. That'll be his first. Adams guarded by Morrison. Gets it over to Zeller, guarded by Koch. Gets a high screen from Petty. Down in the lane, gets the layup. That's tough. You know, there's not a lot of help here because you got so many shooters on the Morton side that it's tough to leave a three-point shooter. And Petty now with the steal. And the dunk for Morton. You know, those little bounce passes, Scott, are dangerous up top. Morton thought about the three. Vasquez now looks at the Jones. You know, that catch, you got to get two hands on the ball. You know, we had one hand up there. And, you know, you think about fundamental basketball. You got to get two hands on the ball every time you can. You cannot rely on one-hand catches out here. So Bourne takes a seat on the bench, and Busey comes in for him here. Redbirds down by 11. With 4:20 to go in the second. We've got to get things picked up here. McKee, guarded by Vasquez. Steffen down, working in the paint. Little turnaround. Gets it to go. Morrison brings it up for the Birds. Picks up a screen from Jones. Jones down the corner against Zeller. He drives the lane, spins. Little backdoor cut.
That was
Vasquez and gets knocked away and turnover. Steffen now doesn't go. Ball gets tipped out to McKee for three. Off the heel. Steffen now controls the rebound again. McKee for three again. And yeah, you can't give McKee multiple shots. And Coach Dean takes a full timeout here in Morton with a 16-point lead with 3.5 to go in the second. So Redbirds just need to get their composure, you know, and it starts with putting bodies on guys. And, you know, you can't give up rebounds on you know, to the other team's offense. You just can't. You got to control your defensive boards. That's fundamental, especially a team like this. You know, you talk about you get an offensive rebound and you kick it out for three. That's probably the best three-point look you're going to get in any situation. Defense just isn't set. They're just not prepared for that. So a guy like McKee can kill you off the offensive boards.
Yeah, and we're lucky Tommy Krupa's not in, too. He'd be getting every rebound down there. You know, he came in that first game. He had a double-double, and he made it played 8 minutes total.
Yeah. So, yeah, we got to get tougher on the defensive boards, and offensively, we just got to take care of the ball. Right now, we're just not taking care of the ball. You know, how many times we've been down here, we haven't had a shot offensively. You know, you got to get a shot.
How many turnovers did we have?
Yeah, there's quite a few. Comes, you know, you got to cut hard. You got to space the floor. Beekman now comes into the lineup for the Redbirds. He replaces Bourne. Or Jones.
Replaces Jones, yeah.
Sorry. Morrison for three. Long. Adams with the rebound.
We've only hit 1 3 so far.
Yeah, that's not what we typically do at home. A little backdoor cut by Steffen. Misses it. Beekman tips it up. Steffen gets his own rebound. Petty for three. Short. That's Vasquez with the rebound. Gets it up to Busey. Busey now drives the lane. He gets fouled. I think that's going to go against Adams. We'll see, though. Yep, goes against Adams, so that'll be his second. And Busey gets to the line to shoot two. And, you know, Scott, this game's going to get gritty. I mean, you know, if the three-pointers aren't falling, you just got to start going to the rim.
Yeah.
And giving it everything you got, drawing a foul, get to the line. And, you know, this is kind of the game where, again, you got to beat a team from the free throw line sometimes, but nothing else is working.
Jones will come back into the Redbird lineup, and he'll replace Morrison. We'll go with the two big guys.
Yeah, I think, you know, it's a message here that we're not going to tolerate losing the defensive boards. You know, you get Jones and Beekman in there to control the defensive boards. And those are pretty good 6'6" leapers right there. And now Zeller's just going to stand out at half court. I mean, you know, Morton sitting on a 14-point lead. They're just happy to sit out here and let the clock run, you know. Koch comes out, guards him. Zeller gets downhill. And there's Burns. Draws the foul against Koch. And that'll be on the floor. It'll be out of bounds for Morton. Koch's first foul tonight. Silas Steffen comes up, sets a screen for Zeller. And Morton's just going to be happy to hold the ball here and run the clock. Steffen gets downhill. Burns gets in the lane. Kicks it out. Steffen for three. That's that coveted inside-out three-point look that we talk about all the time, Scott. Vasquez now on the break. Gets it up to Jones. Jones to Beekman. And that's going to go against Zeller. Foul. That'll be Zeller's first. And now Petty comes in for Burns for Morton. And Wilderman comes in for Adams for Morton. Redbirds to inbound underneath their own hoop. Ball goes into Koch. Over to Vasquez. Gets the screen from Jones. And a little miscommunication. Ball goes out of bounds.
I'll tell you what, Randy.
Yeah, we're just looking jammed up there. You know, we had Jones kind of rolling and Beekman came over. We're just our timing and our flow is just not where it needs to be tonight. And Morton's going to take advantage of this. They're just going to run clock. Zeller gets into the lane, gets it over to Petty. Out to Steffen. Now to Zeller for three. Doesn't go. Jones with the rebound. Gets it to Morrison. Out to Koch. And Koch gives the charge, and that was that's a tough call right there. So that'll be the second on Koch. I don't really feel like he had position there. But,
did he lower his shoulder?
It's possible that Koch extended there, so, it didn't have a great angle from here. Less than a minute to go here in the half. Zeller gets it to Petty. Petty now guarded by Beekman. Back out to Zeller, guarded by Koch. Steffen comes up to set a screen. Petty now will drive baseline, goes up, layup's good. Jones drives baseline, gets fouled by Zeller. It's his second foul. Board's only filmed for one. Tommy Krupa now checks in the lineup for Morton, replacing Zeller. Ball goes up to Busey, to Koch for three. And Beekman with the rebound. Back to Busey for three.
Good.
Gets it to go. And boy, nice to see us hit a three-pointer there, Scott.
Yep.
10 seconds to go in the half. Morton up 16. And now Morrison gives the foul with 5 seconds to go.
That's just his first.
Morrison's first and team fourth, so Redbirds have to play it straight up here. Back screen for Petty, out to McKee for three, and he hits the three here. That'll bring us to the half. Redbirds down by 19.
Oh, Randy.
7 to 18 here in the first half at Tepke.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the floor the Metamora dance team. Tonight they will be performing Neon Green Lights in Pompeii. Choreographed by dance team alum Tyron McCoy and Afton Roanoke.
welcome back to Metamora. Metamora took that 19-point deficit into the halftime locker room, Randy, and it's just...
That's gut check time.
Yep.
You got to come out here. This game might be out of reach right now, but you know what? You got to come out here and play your butt off and show that you can compete against a team like this.
Like I said, there's an element of pride to this too. You don't want this game to end 19 points differential. I think they have us figured out. I think they're playing pretty good. It's not helping that we're not playing our best ball either, but I think they're playing pretty good right now.
Yeah, a lot of unforced turnovers in the first half. We had some open layups, and we just rushed them. And that's what a team like this does. They're all seniors. They're physical. Scott, you mentioned, in the halftime, I mean, Morton's got a lot of football players out here in this roster. Steffen and Krupa and who else?
Steffen Krupa and
Petty.
Petty.
So they've got some really physical guys out here, and so we gotta raise our level of physicality. We gotta set better screens, create separation. One thing that Morton does really well is they screen off the ball. And that's we're screening on the ball, but we're not screening off the ball very much. So we've got to step up here a little bit.
So it'll be Morton ball here to start this second half.
Redbirds come out in kind of a run and jump press here. He now gets downhill, layup goes. I like that now Morton's got the press. That's just full court man here still. Same thing that they've been doing. I like the move by Coach Dame here to go after Morton and just get a little up-tempo here. Even though you're going to give up some buckets, you've got to come after him. You've got to fight. Busey now gets it to Koch. Down to Bourne. Layup's good. Good ball movement there by the Redbirds. Redbirds keep the press on here. Ball goes up to Adams. Back out to Zeller. Down to Burns on the block. Out to McKee for three. And man, he's tough. He's just a guy you cannot leave alone. Leads up to 22 here for Morton.
That's their largest of the evening.
Esquez now gets in the lane. Out to Koch for three. Doesn't go. Zeller with the rebound. Morton's on the run. Out to McKee for three. Steffen with the rebound putback. Everything's going right here for Morton, Scotty. Esquez gets in the lane. Little hook shot goes. Redbirds double the ball. Ball goes up to Adams. Back to Zeller. Redbirds in a little half-court trap here. McKee for three. Long rebound. Controlled by Morton. Steffen now kicks it out to Zeller. Zeller now gets a double team.
He got out of that too easily.
Rebound controlled by Morton. Key in the lane to Burns. That's Steffen there in the baseline.
Jesus.
Kind of went over Koch there. No call. McKee now for three out front. Koch controls the rebound. Koch for three. Gets fouled. He'll go to the line to shoot three. And the foul's going to go against Burns. That'll be his third.
We need to connect on all of our free throws.
Yeah, tremendous advantage for the Redbirds to score here without the clock running.
Yep.
In the second half. So the more physical we could be. Now Petty subs back into the lineup here for Morton. He replaces Burns with three fouls.
And he gets all three. Nice job by Sam.
Koch cuts it back down to 19 here. Zeller now gets double teamed. Reverses it over to Adams now, over the top. Stefan now gets to McKee. Ball gets knocked away, and the foul is called. That goes against Vasquez. That's his second.
Team first, so we're okay there.
Yeah, you just got, the Redbirds are going to hustle. They're going to double it. McKee now falls down with the ball, and Busey recovers, gets it down to Vasquez. Busey for three. Long three doesn't go, and ball's off Stefan out of bounds. It'll be Metamora to inbound. Koch to inbound from the corner here. All goes into Busey. Back to Koch. Koch works the baseline, gets it back out. Vasquez picks up a screen from Jones. Leaves it for Koch. Guarded by Petty to Bourne. Back to Koch. Koch gets in the lane, gets fouled. That goes against Zeller. That's his third. Redbirds to inbound underneath their own hoop. Ball goes into Vasquez, over to Busey, back to Vasquez. Vasquez drives the lane, kicks it out for Jones for three. Doesn't go. Zeller with the rebound.
Boy, I don't know if I've ever seen us this cold from three-point land.
Yeah, that's a nice, again, that inside-out look. Stefan gets it to Zeller, backdoor for Petty. And, wow, looked awful clean up top. He must have got him with the body there, Scott. So, foul's going to go against Koch, and Petty will go to the line to shoot two here. Krupa checks into the lineup for Morton. He replaces Zeller. Petty now with 10 for Morton. Ball goes down to Jones on the baseline, out to Koch. Koch drives the lane. Busey for three.
Good.
Nice little inside-out look there from Koch. Ball goes up to McKee. A little baseline jumper. Goes. Koch now gets a screen from Bourne. Pulls up for three. Petty with the rebound. And Vasquez is going to get called for the reach from behind. That'll be his third. Ball goes into Stefan. Busey comes over, almost had the steal, but knocks it out of bounds. Morton to inbound.
You were just a tick late on every one of those.
Yeah. Ball goes into Adams. Reversed over to McKee. McKee for three. This is the guy you can't leave alone, but you've got to give something up here when you're double teaming the ball. Bourne drives baseline on Krupa, and Coach Dame will take a full timeout here. Talk things over. Morton up
by 23.
51-28 here with 3:15 to go in the third. And, wow, Scott, there's nothing going right here for the Redbirds, you know?
I don't know what to say.
Yeah, it does. It leaves you speechless here, you know? But Redbirds just have to keep gritting it through here and just look for any positives they can find. And, you know, this is another game that, look back and learn from, you know?
We've had too many of those anyway.
Yeah. Well, you're playing against seniors, you know, so again, not that that's an excuse, but at the same time, you gotta bring it. You know, these guys have been in this system. You know, coach has been here for how many years? Zeller been in Morton, been doing a nice job.
4 years, I think.
4 years, so he's got his system going, and these guys have been with him all 4 years now. So tough group to play against. Vasquez to inbound for the Birds underneath their own hoop. Koch gets the screen. Ball goes into Busey in the lane. Little layup goes. That's the old Tyson Swanson play right there, Scott. Ball goes up to Steffen. The corner out of Krupa. Ball gets knocked out of bounds. It'll be Morton inbound. Morrison and Taylor check into the lineup for the Redbirds. They replace Vasquez and Busey. And now Wilderman gets up off the bench for Morton. He replaces Krupa. McKee
Out of
makes the
bounds.
catch, but steps out of bounds, so it'll be Metamora ball. Morrison sets a nice screen for Taylor there. Jones gets it over to Koch, over to Morrison. Now to Bourne, hands off to Morrison, who gets downhill in the lane, out to Koch for three. Drives baseline. Finishes the layup. Cuts it back down to 19. Steffen now. McKee in the corner for three. Off the front, and Morrison tips it over to Bourne. Back to Morrison. Morrison to Bourne in the high post. And now they get it up to Jones. McKee comes over, knocks it away. Wildman for three, and he hits it. Bourne now works his way down, gets fouled. He'll go to the, they're calling it on the floor. So that goes against Adams. That'll be his third. And Koch now comes out of the game. Vasquez in. And Busey back into the game. Bourne out for the Redbirds. So Redbirds will inbound underneath their own hoop. Ball goes into Vasquez. Over to Taylor, down to Jones. Layup good. Lead back to 20. Petty now. Down to McKee. Busey with the rebound off the Petty miss. Ball's up to Jones. Jones gets in the lane and puts it in over Petty. A lot of contact there, no call. Nice to see Brady Jones taking it with authority there. Butterman, ball gets tipped. Morrison up to Taylor. Layup good. Busey almost had it. And Morton inbound. The lead
16.
Down to 16 here. So Redbird showing a little life here. Ball goes in to Zeller. Up to Wilderman. Ball gets missed. Taylor with the recovery. Up to Busey for three. Doesn't go. Zeller with the rebound. Steffen now up to Wilderman. Gets the bucket to go. Back up to 18. Morrison for three. Doesn't go. Vasquez tips it out. Stefan gets it. Stefan now misses the dunk. Jones with the recovery. Vasquez for three gets blocked. Jones now, baseline jumper, doesn't go. He's recovered, so at the end of three, Redbirds down by 18. And you got to love the effort here from the Redbirds. They just keep working and grinding away. Nothing's really going that well. But, you know, at the end of the day, you got to have effort out here. Morrison to inbound, gets it into Vasquez, guarded by McKee. Over to Jones, to Busey, and the ball goes out of bounds to Morton.
I mean, how many unforced turnovers do we have tonight?
Yeah, that's just, yeah, when you don't get a shot, that's tough. Ball goes into Burns. That's good. Leads back up to 20 for Morton. You know, at this point, the Redbirds just need to play flawless. There's just no room for any. Morrison now drives the lane, finishes with the left hand, gets it back to 18. And Morrison now will follow Zeller.
It's his second foul.
Bourne checks back in. He replaces Jones. Ball goes into Zeller. Out of Petty, back to Zeller. He's in the corner. Burns gets it in the short corner. And there's Zeller gets downhill, little floater. And fouls. He'll go to the line to shoot two. But yeah, it puts you in a tough spot when you're down this far. You've got to chase them.
Yeah.
And you've got to try to create anything. You're just trying to get the ball out of their hand. You're trying to get a steal. You're trying to get a rebound. Anything to get the ball turned over.
I wonder what our three-point shooting has been this game.
Yeah, probably not good. Lead back up to 20. Taylor brings it up for the Birds. Over to Morrison. Hands off to Busey. Gets a screen from Bourne. Burns comes up on the switch. Down. And Bourne now with the reverse layup. Cuts it back to 18. They go long to Petty. Down to McKee. Back to Petty. Finishes the layup.
They just beat us down the court.
Well, we're giving that up by doing the press, but, you know, they took care of the ball. And, you know, that was a nice save by McKee and a nice assist by him down there. So they've had a lot more composure handling the ball tonight. Morrison has it. Pulls up for three.
Good.
It's good from the volleyball line. Morrison showing some range there. Burns gets it and travels. And I think if he didn't travel, I think he would have given a charge there.
Yeah.
So he's lucky to travel. The Redbirds now have a chance to take advantage of this turnover. Taylor, layup doesn't go. Zeller now going to get fouled by Busey in the open floor. And those
can't
are just
miss layups, Randy.
Yeah, those are just little things. You know, we had a chance to cut this down to 15 here. So just so all those little things make a difference. Petty now gets it back to Burns. Over to Zeller. And Burns now gets the layup up to Morrison. The screen from Taylor. And now ball gets thrown away, and Adams recovers. Burns has it, takes it in. Gets it over to Zeller. Layup doesn't go. Vasquez with the rebound. Up to Morrison. Morrison for three. And it just rims out. Bourne with the rebound put back. Cuts it down to 17 here. McKee now has it. Gives it up to Zeller. Zeller gets double teamed. Over to Petty. And the reverse layup goes. Lead back up to 19 here. And Vasquez now gets it to Bourne for three. Off the front. Petty with the rebound. Up to Burns. Layup goes. Busey now. Off Busey out of bounds. It'll be Morton ball. And Koch and Jones now check back in, and they replace Taylor and Morrison for the Birds. And now Adams comes out, and he's replaced by, not sure who got him, maybe Steffen. McKee from the corner for three. Ball gets tipped away from Steffen up to Busey. Busey now pulls up for three.
Good.
And now Coach Dame will take a 30-second timeout here. 4:21 on the clock. Redbirds down by 18. And it's kind of now or never, Scott. Yeah. So, you know, I mean, what are the other options for the Redbirds? You know, you can't just lay down here. You know what I mean? I mean, we're pressing, we're getting after them, we're double teaming them. You know, again, we still had some unforced errors here.
We can't trade baskets.
Yeah, no, we can't trade baskets, but you know, we just got to get them to play up tempo, and you know, at this point, you got to create as many possessions as possible. That's what gives you the chance to get back in this game. You know, and you just got to keep fighting and scratching and clawing, and you know, it seems futile, but you just got to keep going here. You can't stop. So Morton to inbound against the press here. Ball goes into Petty, back to Burns. Ball gets knocked away, and Burns recovers. Up to Petty. Against Jones, and he'll draw the foul against Jones, so Petty will go to the line to shoot two.
His first, team four. To the line, Brian Petty, shooting two. Checking in for the Potters, number 11.
Adams now checks into the game for Morton. He replaces Zeller.
Just the second one.
Takes the lead back up to 19. Ball goes into Busey. It's a screen from Jones. Spins in the lane. Ball gets knocked out of bounds. It'll be Metamora to inbound. Vasquez to inbound for the Birds. Ball goes in, and Petty gets a hold of it. The ball goes up to Steffen. Throws it down with two hands. Scott now brings it up against Steffen. Gets a screen from Bourne. Vasquez now hands it off to Busey. Into Bourne in the post against McKee. And Petty comes over and knocks it away. It'll be Metamora to inbound. Ball goes into Vasquez. Over to Busey for three. Off the front. And Bourne now dives, gets it to Jones. Jones, a reverse layup doesn't go. And Burns recovers for Morton underneath the bucket. Vasquez almost has the steal. Now Bourne comes over, pulls it away, gets it to Koch. Koch doesn't go, and now the ball gets knocked out to Metamora. Zeller now checks back into the game for Morton. He replaces Petty. Ball goes into Koch. Debussy for three. And Burns with the rebound, gets it up to Steffen. And foul is called on Koch. And so Steffen will go to the line to shoot two. Fourth foul on Koch here tonight.
Wow.
Steffen now with 16 points. Looking for 17 here with his second free throw. And he gets it. And McKee leads all scorers tonight for Morton. He's got 20. Vasquez, little free throw line jumper goes. Ball goes all the way down. And that's Steffen. Layup doesn't go for him. Koch now bringing it up. Gets it to Busey. Busey now out to Jones. Busey slow to get up on the baseline there. Ball goes to Bourne on the back door. Got it under 20 here. Burns picks it up with a layup. And you know, Scotty, I mean, a lot of things have gone Morton's way here tonight. You know, again, no excuses. This is a heck of a Morton team, but Bourne with the layup.
We made them look like state champions, though.
Yeah, we did. We made them look awful good. They've played awful good, but Steffen now takes it hard. Block will go against Bourne here. Steffen will get to the line here to shoot two.
The one good thing, though, is it's only worth one loss.
Yeah, thank goodness, right?
Yeah.
Oh, but yeah, not a lot has gone right for the Redbirds here tonight. Steffen makes the second. He's got 18 now. Petty comes back into the game. He replaces McKee, who leaves the game with 20. Vasquez to bring it up against Zeller. Vasquez drives the lane, tries to get it over to Jones, and just gets knocked away. Jones with the steal, up to Bourne for the layup. Bourne now with 16 for the Birds. Also, Busey's got 16 as well for the Redbirds. Foul goes against Bourne. That'll bring Zeller to the line to shoot two. Now Morton will clear the bench. A minute 10 to go. Now Metamora will do the same. Busey with the rebound brings it up. 3-pointers up off the heel. Beekman controls it. Gets it knocked away. Cooper recovers. Ball goes up to Zeller. Or out to Wilderman. Wilderman drives baseline. Back to Zeller. Now Bourne. Gets it. Beekman now has it. Over to Morrison. To Busey for 3. Busey now with 19 for the Birds. Wilderman gets down the lane. Beekman contests. Ball goes up to Busey. Busey gets fouled by Zeller on the layup attempt. Busey will go to the line to shoot 2 for the Redbirds. He hits the second. He's got 20 now. Three-pointer's up and good. That's number 20. I don't have him on my roster here. So that'll do it. Redbirds go down here at home to Morton, 80-62. We'll be back with Coach Dane.
Welcome back to Metamora. We're here with Metamora head coach Justin. Coach, I don't know what to say. I mean, it just kind of snowballed. You know, things started going bad, and then things just kind of snowballed, and you know, you just kind of had trouble regrouping, really.
Yeah. Just second quarter, I think we had 9 turnovers. You're probably going to lose every game you have 9 turnovers in one quarter, unless you just play awesome the rest of the game, and we didn't. We played like a young team against a bunch of seniors who were, you know, finally at full strength. If you'd have told me they had those guys last game, we'd probably lose the last game if they play all their guys and they're all healthy. You know, they had 1 guy banged up and 2 guys out last time we played, and they were much better today. And we were not. We made a school record threes. You know, so how many years of basketball we actually hit 16 in a game? We've never done that before. It took an awesome effort from our guys last time to beat them, and this one went a little bit more like I kind of expected it to before the season. I thought Morton was the best team around, and we were going to be really young, and we could maybe give them a good game. But I mean, they came out right from the jump. I think it was an 8-0 run. You could tell they were locked in. They were more focused than we were tonight, which can happen with young guys. We didn't have a very good practice yesterday. I kind of had to try to get them to get more effort and more talking. I'm like, Morton's coming in here tomorrow, guys. It's going to be a serious game, but no, we'll get back to the drawing board and hopefully have 2 good practices tomorrow, the next 2 days, and get ready for Canton.
Yeah, Coach, when you think about them, I mean, a senior-heavy team, you know, physical, you know, setting screens. I mean, I talk about Logan Vasquez all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just how many picks that guy takes. I mean, he's guarding McKee.
Yeah.
They're setting 3 screens for him. McKee's not by the ball, goes to the backside, gets picked 3 times, comes back towards the ball, gets picked another 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know, just the physicality of this Morton team. You know, you think about us, you know, how do we get more physical like that? You know what I mean?
Father time. I mean, when you're 16 years old playing against 18-year-olds, 2 out of 16. What percentage is that? I mean, that's a large percentage of your life.
Yeah.
You're 16 to try to get 2 more years. You just can't overcome it. It's pretty tough. It just takes time. You know, we got 100 days in the weight room, maybe 150 days in the weight room. This time next year, we'll be a lot stronger. But,
Yeah.
you know, I don't know how we get stronger other than that. Eat more and run less, maybe. I don't know.
I got to tell you, that might be the best answer I have ever heard. You know, Father Time. That's just a great answer.
Just is what it is, right? You watch
Love
college basketball. Matthew Zobrist, we like to think he's a really, really good player and a really strong player. Can't get on the court for Bradley right now. It's an old man's game. You know, you want to be a good basketball player, you got to get older.
Yeah. You're 100% right. And you know, I'm sure the kids are hurting. You don't see any of them out of the locker room yet. They're still back there.
Yeah.
So they're hurting.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's not a bad thing.
For sure. We had a couple losses this year that have really hurt. East Peoria bounced back, had a couple wins after that since then. The first Washington game, we had a real nice bounce back from that loss. The Canton game, we had a real nice bounce back. Every game we lost, we've kind of figured some things out and gotten better from there. The Jack Tosh loss to a really good team, and then we came back and won a few really nice games after that. So, you know, like we told them, try to keep our heads up. This is a team that's older than us, better than us. There's no excuses. We still want to win every game, and there's still a lot of things we can do and get better. But no, this is just a learning experience for us, right? This is what happens when you struggle to shoot the ball. We didn't shoot it well, and we turned the ball over too much. It's a recipe for disaster.
Coach, I know, and you know, your kids, they did battle all the way to the end. They were giving a lot of effort all the way to the end. Sometimes things just didn't go right. It seemed like everything went right for Morton tonight.
Yeah.
And, you know, that you're right. That's just the fact that, you know, they've been through the battles and the wars. And our kids are learning what the battles and the wars are.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, sometimes the ball doesn't bounce your way. We couldn't get shots to drop, and how many times did we just drop it out of bounds uncharacteristically? I think we started the game, had a wide open layup, ball just kind of dribbled off our foot. So it was not our night tonight, unfortunately, which hurts. And I think the guys are definitely down, but we got to bounce back and be ready to practice the next 2 days. And we got a big game at home on Friday.
And a big game on Saturday.
Yeah.
Coach, we'll let you get going here. Thank you so much. I want to thank Randy Begol.
Thanks, guys.
I want to thank Jonathan Stahlberg up in the camera tonight, filling in for my brother, and Eli Young, the producer, and also our third guy on the call tonight. Redbirds drop a tough one. We'll see you Friday night at home against the Canton Little Giants.